Hi there, it's Sam from Pootles.co.uk. Thank you very much for joining me today, and thank you for joining me in Pootles Advent Countdown. This is 24 projects that are coming out to you all the way through and into December. And this is today's box. It's huge. It's a box, it's a bag, and it's self-closing. Now, I know that there are lots of self-closing boxes out there. The lovely Karen Howell, who is in my team, who is tuppence coloured, came up with it, quite a while ago, and she did a variation that had scored lines. Now, I have watched her video, and I don't know whether I had it in my head when I came up with this box, but I was actually originally going for, let me pop this open, that shape, and I was going to have it as a box with a handle, and it just, I pushed it and I thought, oh, I wonder what will happen, and then realised that I had come up with a giant version of the self-close box bag. So yeah, like I say, there are lots of versions on the internet now. Karen's is the first one I ever saw, and hers is a taller, thinner bag, and it's got these beautiful scored lines here. I went for a softer version, but I'm going to show you how to make it, and it needs 2 pieces of big DSP. Okay, let's get that right out of the way. This is the Home for Christmas. Is it Home for Christmas? Yeah, Home for Christmas paper. I have used so much of my paper that I was left with not very much choice because I need 2 that are the same, and this was what I was left over with because I've hacked into all of my other papers. So I'm going with this pattern, and it's going to have the poinsettias are going to fold that way. So 12 by 12 inches, 30.5 by 30.5 centimetres, and you score them in exactly the same way on both of them. And what we're going to be left with is a 5.5 inch base, sort of, there and there. So you score it at 5.5 inches, which is 14 centimetres, and then you score it again at 11 inches, which is 28 centimetres. And then you turn it round and score it at 3 and at 10 inches, which is 15, it's not at all, it's 7.5, sorry, yes, it's 7.5 and 25.5 centimetres. And you do that on both pieces. So run that again, 5.5 and 11, which is 14 and 28. Then you turn it round and you score it at 3 and 10, which is 15 and 25.5 centimetres. Okay, so let's move the scoring tool, don't need that anymore. And you fold and burnish your score lines. Now obviously this is the way my pattern is going, so this one at the top is going to fold towards you, because that's going to be the pattern that shows over, and these ones fold away. So let's just unfold that bit. Just going to give that a quick burnish. I love big bags. I don't make them hugely often, but I do get asked for them. I will happily take requests. I can't always fulfill all of them, but I had lots of people saying, Sam, can you make a nice big bag? I've got lots of goodies to give to somebody for Christmas. So I said, of course I will. So honouring some promises, here's a big bag. So that's the score lines folded. Let's do that again. So this one at the top, folding it towards yourself. And the rest of them you're going to fold away. Oops, oh, I just completely threw into that score line. Let's try that again. There we go. You need a lot of desk space. I will say that. Okay, so the pieces to remove are, you've got this long thin section here, and there's a rectangle at the bottom and a rectangle at the top. You need to get rid of both of those on both pieces. I'm just going to grab my long scissors. So that's one of them done, so you can see which bits I've removed. So I've left myself a kind of tab there, and then exactly the same over here as well. Right, so we now have 2 identical pieces. What I want to do is get this bit stuck down first. And snail or fast fuse or your adhesive of choice, go for it. So I've grabbed my snail. I'm quite liberally applying it. So stick it on and push it down, and then the same on the other piece, exactly the same. So basically we're working each piece the same way. Okay. Now what we need to do is stick that part to this part. So it's going to adhere like that. This is where you need a stronger adhesive, so I've got my fuse this time. And you just need to line it up. So take a little extra time, making sure that it lines up neatly. And once you've got the first one in place, it's actually quite simple to do the next one. So this is why you need a lot of desk space. So again, some adhesive down there. Oops, oh, I've just completely gone off the line there. It's because I'm trying to do this all at a funny angle. So when you fold this part over, this will fold over now and line up absolutely perfectly because you've spent a few minutes on the first one. Okay, oh, I knew there was something I forgot to do. I was so busy trimming off the little extra bits, I forgot to cut up that small line. So do that on both pieces. Or rewind and say, Sam, that was where you were meant to put adhesive. Because obviously we need to close the box up. So sides in and the back. And I would put some adhesive on the inside of this part. So this one, hopefully you're going to see, is going to fold over. And this one is as well. So put some adhesive on this tab too. Because as you can see, it doesn't completely meet. I didn't want to use up 5.5, you know, I didn't want to have a base that was 5.5 inches deep, or use a piece of paper that was 5.5 inches to cover that. So we're going to reinforce the box in a second. So it's closed, but we're going to reinforce it in here with a piece of cardstock that is a little bit less. So it's 14 centimetres basically. Well, it's 13.5 centimetres, and it's just a smidge under 5.5, so it slips in nicely. You can leave it, you can stick it down, you could leave it loose, but it's just going to reinforce the bottom of the box. So that goes in there. You can definitely get your hand in with no problem whatsoever. And now all you do is you take a finger on either side and push, and it sticks where the paper stops. It holds itself closed. How cool is that? And it does have a slightly domed bottom. I don't mind that. I kind of like it that it sort of tips very slightly. That appeals to me. Love it. And if you didn't like it that way round, that's okay. You open it up and you go the other way round and push it and you rip it. And you go that way round. Okay, it didn't like it that way round, but I can't refilm because I haven't got 2 more pieces of paper. The same pattern. Don't do what I just did. Oh well. Get out your big piece of vanilla ribbon, which is lovely, and tie yourself a pretty bow and pretend that your rip didn't happen. I can't believe that. The other one lets me push it any old which way it fancies. I can do what I like to it. I don't know what's happened with this. Maybe it's because it's on camera. I don't know, but I'm an honest gal and I like to leave everything in so you can see my errors, human as they are. So trim that off, make it all nice and pretty. And pop it on the side. So I'm going to have some, oh, I dropped it. Tombow. I'm Squodge it that side, squodge onto the back of the bow, put it on there and hold for a few seconds, and you end up with a beautiful box with a pretty bow on. I'm just going to have to hold that a little bit longer. Like I say, this one had no issue which way I pushed it, but this paper apparently does. So there we go. Fabulous. Let's just open that up. Oh God, there goes the bow. And we'll have that all stuck down. But it's a nice size box. It's 5.5 inches, 14 centimetres, which is a whopper. So plenty of room for goodies there. I think I might have to get a peg or a clamp or something on that to have that stick. But it's gorgeous. Huge, huge big bag. Love it. Anyway, thank you ever so much for joining me, and I hope to speak to you soon.